The headline tonight: President Trump expands his tariff campaign, raising steel and aluminum duties to 50% and extending them to 47 additional products. What began with raw materials now includes car parts, refrigerators, baby strollers, and even aluminum soda cans. For American families, this means higher grocery bills and more expensive cars. For Canada, it disrupts exports that depend on metal packaging and industrial inputs. This is not just a technical trade measure. It is a shock that links everyday costs with international trade tensions. The Trump administration is quietly making it more expensive to import hundreds of items, products you see every day on store shelves, plus industrial goods like trains, bulldozers, wind turbines, and rail cars. For consumers, the most immediate effect is inflation. Import prices rose sharply in July, defying claims that foreign exporters would absorb the tariffs. Analysts stress that American businesses and households are carrying nearly all of the cost, an estimated $160 billion in extra expenses flowing directly into the economy. Industries tied to steel and aluminum are already reacting. Farmers and builders depend on tractors, gearboxes, pumps, and machinery now hit by higher tariffs. Legacy manufacturer John Deere has announced layoffs at 3 Midwestern facilities, citing weaker sales and rising production costs. When major employers respond this way, the shock spreads into local communities. The administration's stated goal is to rebuild American steel and aluminum. Yet investment in those sectors requires billions of dollars and long-term certainty. Economists warn that constant changes have created what they now call Trumpian uncertainty, discouraging companies from expanding or hiring. Canada has responded firmly. Ontario Premier Doug Ford calls the tariffs a hidden tax on American families, pointing out that Canada buys more than $350 billion of U.S. goods each year. He announced a $70 million program to support workers and made it clear that Canada will not roll over. On the federal level, Prime Minister Mark Carney has directed aid to sectors like lumber and agriculture while keeping negotiations with Washington open. His government insists Canada will only accept a fair deal, not a short-term fix that weakens national interests. Together, federal and provincial leaders have aligned behind one message: Canada will stand firm. Tensions escalated further on August 1, when President Trump imposed a 35% tariff on Canadian goods not covered under the USMCA. The move came without warning, officially linked to fentanyl trafficking, though officials later admitted retaliation was the real trigger. Canada chose not to escalate, maintaining its existing counter-tariffs while emphasizing stability and long-term priorities. While Washington sends mixed signals, claiming tariffs are both permanent and negotiable, Ottawa has kept the door open for dialogue. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc confirmed negotiations continue, and both sides acknowledge the possibility of direct talks between Trump and Carney in the days ahead. In Ottawa, optimism is cautious. Analysts note that the 35% hike is not expected to significantly alter Canada's economic outlook, giving negotiators room to maneuver without conceding too much. Canada's message is clear: respond, but don't react. This measured approach has reinforced national resilience while keeping negotiations alive. On August 18, Carney and Ford met in Ottawa to coordinate their strategy. Their focus was not on Trump's next move, but on strengthening Canada from within, investing in steel, autos, housing, artificial intelligence, and infrastructure. Ford highlighted Ontario's record foreign investment, nearly $40 billion in 2024, creating 25,000 jobs. Both leaders emphasized a united Team Canada strategy, making competitiveness at home the top priority. At the same time, Canada has rolled out billions in support, programs for workers, financing for companies, funds for critical minerals, and new internal trade agreements among provinces. The goal is not just defense, but transformation, turning the tariff crisis into a catalyst for long-term growth. President Trump frames tariffs as proof of American strength. In reality, they are raising costs at home and pressuring U.S. businesses. Canada's response, by contrast, has been patient, united, and forward-looking. This is not just a trade fight, it is a test of endurance. And Canada is showing it is ready. Trump may control the headlines, but Canada is focused on building lasting competitiveness. In this unfolding clash, endurance and vision may matter far more than short-term revenue. This is True Estate Report. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.